Around 4600 BCE, near the Black Sea, people buried their dead with something the world had never valued this way before: gold. It didn't rust, it didn't fade, and under sunlight, it looked almost supernatural. But those ancient craftsmen were holding more than a beautiful metal. Every gold atom in their hands had been forged billions of years earlier, during violent events in space, before Earth even existed. Somehow, that cosmic debris became treasure, money, royal power, and eventually, the ring used to promise love. So how did material born among dying stars end up controlling human history? If you enjoy uncovering the hidden stories behind familiar things, hit like and subscribe, because gold's real story begins far beyond Earth. To answer that, we have to leave human history behind and return to the violent early universe. Inside stars, fusion builds many lighter elements, but gold, element 79, needs something far more extreme: a flood of neutrons that rapidly builds heavy atomic nuclei. Scientists call this the R process. One known setting is a collision between neutron stars, the crushed cores left after massive stars die. In 2017, astronomers detected gravitational waves and light from one of these collisions, providing strong evidence that such cosmic crashes produce heavy elements, including gold. New research suggests other events, such as giant flares from highly magnetic neutron stars, may also have produced some of the universe's earliest gold. Those atoms later entered the cloud that formed our solar system about 4.6 billion years ago. But when the young Earth melted, most of its gold sank deep inside. So why is any gold still close enough for us to mine? Gold is strongly attracted to iron.
Metals sank.
That's why,
so how
as
did
Earth
any
separated
gold
into
remain
layers,
accessible in the
most
thin
of its
crust
gold
above?
followed molten iron toward the core. But the process didn't end there. After the core had largely formed, more space rocks struck the planet. Scientists think this late delivery, often called the late veneer, added gold and other rare metals to Earth's mantle. That still didn't create mineable deposits. The gold was scattered in microscopic amounts. Over immense spans of time, hot fluids moved through cracks in the crust, carried traces of gold, and deposited them when temperature or chemistry changed. This created gold-bearing veins, often alongside quartz. Then erosion broke those rocks apart. Because gold is unusually dense, rivers separated it from lighter material and gathered flakes and nuggets in their gravel beds. A metal forged in space was finally lying where human hands could reach it. But who picked it up first? In 1972, an excavator operator near Varna, Bulgaria, accidentally uncovered a prehistoric cemetery. What began with a few dirty objects soon became one of archaeology's greatest discoveries. The graves dated from roughly 4600 to 4200 BCE. Inside them, researchers found about 6 kilograms of gold, bracelets, pendants, beads, breastplates, and tiny discs once attached to clothing. But the gold wasn't shared equally. Most graves contained almost nothing valuable, while just 4 held roughly 3/4 of the cemetery's gold. Grave 43 alone surrounded one man with ornaments, weapons, and an axe wrapped in gold. Coins wouldn't appear for thousands of years. This gold wasn't money. It marked ritual, rank, and control. Before gold became currency, it had already become a tool for separating the powerful from everyone else. Then rulers discovered an even stronger idea. Gold could make them look immortal. Nowhere did gold's promise of immortality become stronger than in ancient Egypt. Its color recalled the sun, and Egyptians believed the god's skin was made of gold. Since the metal barely tarnished, it was perfectly suited to an afterlife meant to last forever. Pharaohs largely controlled supplies from Egypt's eastern desert and Nubia. Their craftsmen became so skilled that they could hammer gold into leaf only about 1 micron thick, covering cheaper materials with a surface that looked solid. Gold-filled temples decorated royal bodies and followed rulers into their tombs. The most famous example came from Tutankhamun, whose nearly intact burial was discovered in 1922, packed with golden objects meant to protect him beyond death. But here's the surprise.
And
For
these
most of
parts are
Egyptian
worth the
history,
weight in copper.
gold still wasn't everyday coinage. It represented divine authority, not standardized money. That would change when another kingdom began stamping metal with an official guarantee. Around 650 BCE, the Kingdom of Lydia, in what's now Western Turkey, produced some of the earliest known coins. They were made from electrum, a natural mixture of gold and silver,
It is
and
underweight.
stamped with official
I cannot
symbols.
accept it. Take
That
this
stamp changed
Siglos instead.
everything.
It is
Traders
guaranteed by
didn't
the
have to
king.
weigh and test
Very
every
good.
piece of metal from scratch. The mark promised an accepted weight and value, but electrum's gold content could vary, which created a new problem. In the 6th century BCE, Lydia began minting gold and silver separately under King Croesus. The system was later
status
adopted
for the
by the
bolt of
Persian
finest
Empire
linen.
and spread
Agreed.
much further.
The silver is
Gold
accepted.
no longer belonged only in temples and tombs. It could pay soldiers, collect taxes, move across borders, and fund expansion. And once gold could finance an empire, controlling its supply became worth conquering for. At once gold could fund power, conquest followed. In the ancient Americas, gold was often used for sacred objects and royal regalia, not currency. Spanish conquistadors saw something else, portable wealth. In 1532, they captured the Inca ruler Atahualpa. He offered a room filled with gold and twice that amount in silver. The treasure arrived. Its artworks were melted into ingots, and the Spanish executed him anyway. Gold fever returned on January 24, 1848, when James Marshall found flakes at Sutter's Mill in California. Hundreds of thousands raced toward the region. Towns grew almost overnight, but native communities suffered disease, violence, and forced removal from their lands. Similar rushes followed elsewhere. Gold pulled people across oceans, destroyed cultures, and reshaped entire nations. Then governments attempted something even bigger, tying the value of money itself to gold. Gold-backed currencies into the 20th century. Then, in 1971, the United States ended dollar convertibility into gold. But the metal didn't lose its pull. It remains in reserves: jewelry, electronics, spacecraft, and astronaut visors. So where does gold come from? Cosmic violence made its atoms. Earth's geology gathered them. Human belief turned them into power. If you enjoyed this history, hit like, subscribe, and join us for the story hiding in plain sight.